I decided to choose this topic because this week I'm actually planning on shooting a new YouTube video on the topic of reflections. So I thought I'd give you all a bit of a head start, a bit of a insight into those topics before I, launch it publicly on YouTube, because obviously it's part of the mentorship. I want to give you all a bit of an extra insight into the videos and the topics that I like to talk about. And this topic is really interesting because it focuses a little bit more on the aesthetics of a photo and how we can play with composition, moments, and lightings, but centered around reflections, which I think is something that maybe isn't talked about very much. I certainly haven't seen many YouTube videos done it. So I thought it'd be a really interesting topic just to introduce to you. And obviously many of you have already been shooting some reflections, but I wanted to introduce some ideas that maybe you haven't thought about, maybe some thought processes about why we create reflections and what potential feelings they create for our viewers, and just to get you to think a little bit deeper about reflections and how you might be able to use them in the future, and maybe try to find new ways of using reflections that you might not have done before. So first, let's think about why you might use reflections. Now, I don't know if any of you saw this photo that I posted on Instagram a few days ago. This was of a shot that I made shooting into it was like a museum casing in Xi'an in northern China. It was actually at the Terracotta Warriors display, and we had all these people looking through this display, looking at the Terracotta Warriors. And I noticed that there were these different layers of reflections as people were looking through the glass of this case. And even though there's not a really deep story to this photo, I first noticed it because it was just really interesting to me. It's really visually pleasing to kind of play with those reflections, just to create a really interesting single image. So reflections can just be really interesting for your viewer to look at, and you can start to play with things like symmetry and balance and multiple points of interest, like in this image. And when you're shooting through one layer of reflection, maybe two layers, you can start to kind of really create this added depth to these layers of the photo, which again invites your viewer to kind of explore the photograph deeper and kind of draws them into maybe the story that you're trying to tell about maybe that place or maybe the people in your photo. So really, it's about using reflections to create a really interesting single image that draws your viewer into something a little bit deeper that you want them to see or think about. So let's start with the basics. Where to find reflections. Now, I know that many of you have already been finding those reflections in your images, but I've kind of categorized it into three main ways to look for reflections. One of the places, obviously, with water, especially with still water, like ponds, puddles, lakes. The reflective surface that is created by still water is often one of the best places for you to capture reflections. And then finally, when we're looking at it from a storyteller's perspective, from a documentary photographer's perspective, one of the things I like about reflections is that if you see point one there, it says it allows you to be unobtrusive. Like I mentioned before about the image that I took in North Korea where I'm shooting through the mirror, often subjects don't actually know that you're photographing them. Because when you are positioned photographing through the reflection, unless someone's looking over your shoulder, they can't see what you're photographing. So actually, it allows you to preserve those candid moments, because people think, well, why is that person photographing into a window? Why are they photographing, that puddle? They can't see it. So you're much more likely to be able to capture those much more natural and candid moments that I know all of you like to look for. So in summary, for reflections, remember that when you are ever around water, still water especially, if you're around glass or mirrors, that should immediately alert you as the observant photographer that there's a possibility of capturing a reflection moment. So wherever you are, wherever you're out and about taking pictures, and you find yourself around them, your kind of spider sense as a photographer should be alerted that that is the potential image in that scene. And you can either do two things. You can either focus on making an image really simple, like this image on screen, okay, where we're focusing on one subject, or you might have another scene that is the potential to be very complex, where we talk about those multiple layers of photos. But all of these, whether it's a simple frame using symmetry, or whether you're using multiple points of interest, this all draws your viewer in, and it kind of taps into those this natural appreciation that people have for reflections and symmetry and the aesthetics that we can create to make more powerful images. But finally, get creative, have fun with reflections. Take lots of images, because often there's a lot of trial and error in a reflection image, but they're really fun. And I really love playing with reflections just to see what kind of images I can create. And that intensifies the power of the photo, which then connects people to your story and what you enjoy photographing. Okay, before we dive into everybody's photos, does anybody have any questions from all of those points that I covered? I covered quite a lot in that. Are there any quick questions that anybody has?
Sean, this last picture, I don't know. I've only got a very small screen. I can't tell if it's a mirror, a puddle, a reflection in a window. I can't tell how you've done that.
Well, that's a really great point. I love it when people don't know how I've taken a picture. If you've been able to do that, then you've created something really interesting, because then it forces your viewer to stop and think about, what on earth did the photographer do to get that picture? Can anybody guess how I made this picture?
It looks like a piece of glass.
Yeah, the piece of glass on the ground.
Yeah.
Okay, you're getting close.
A piece of water.
No, not a piece of water. You're getting colder.
Glass, mirror.
Yeah, it's actually a broken mirror. A piece of broken mirror that is on the ground. So I was actually in Lisbon in Portugal. So you can see that Mediterranean style architecture. And so it was a broken piece of mirror on the ground. And I was just looking through the mirror, capturing that reflection of the building. So I was just obviously focused. This is all about the shape. Now, ideally, looking back, I took this picture about nearly 20 years ago. Now, if I was talking to myself as a young photographer, I would have said, sit there and wait for a bird to fly into that frame, you know, just in the blue sky.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of self-critiquing myself here. But yeah, it's quite nice, just the shape of the mirror, and it just forms that nice balance with the shape of the building as well.
Yes.